This is the future.
If you heard my intro, then you know that I'm a big Fast Boy fan. Gauss is an extremely fun Warframe to play with. We all call him the Fast Boy because of his insane speed using her first ability. He's super fast that he can literally walk in water, but there's so much more to this Warframe than speed. Before we start, I would like to know your opinion regarding the thumbnail. I don't know if this is a concept design for Gauss or just purely Overwatch Genji fan art, but it would be a fitting deluxe skin for our Fast Boy. I would love to see this in the game, and I did saw this on Reddit, but the moderator removed it though. So what do you guys think? If you also think that this would be fitting to be a deluxe skin for Gauss, then please do share it so DE can get some ideas. Well, it definitely looked like a character from Overwatch, but they can get some ideas to craft a similar skin for our Fast Boy. I can say that this Warframe is also complete, just like my boy Nidus. Why? It's because he got insane survivability, using the shield gating mechanic effectively. Her first ability is not just fast, but lets you regenerate a shield in just a snap of a finger. And that's not all. He also got his second ability, called kinetic plating, that gives a freaking 100% damage reduction at max battery. Okay, before we dive deeper, I would just like to talk about the battle mechanic of Gauss, which you can see at the bottom right corner of your screen. At 100% battery, Gauss gains a tremendous amount of buffs in all of his abilities. First, is that at max redline, which is 100% battery, Mac rush energy cost is halved. At max redline, you will gain a maximum 100% damage reduction from kinetic plating. In addition to that, while the battery level is boosted during redline, kinetic plating also grants Gauss a 100% base melee damage bonus and a 100% chance to stagger enemies on hit. His Thermal Sunder also received an insane buff. Thermal Sunder gains bonuses to its status effects when redline is active and above the redline battery charge, which is greater than 80%. The cold proc freezes enemies solid instantly. Heat mode's damage is doubled. This doubling is applied after the bonus damage from active heat procs on a target, allowing consecutive casts to double the previous cast's damage. The blast procs permanently strip away the enemy's current amount of armor based on battery power level, up to a maximum of 100% with a full battery charge, before inflicting its damage. And lastly, aside from giving buffs to his other abilities, redline itself, the ultimate ability of Gauss also sets fire rate, attack speed, reload speed, and hold straight into overdrive. Gauss is the epitome of the saying speed can kill, and there's no denying the fact that most players know about this, but only a few of the players know that this Warframe is an absolute beast also in terms of high-level nuking. Thermal Sunder may be considered by many as the best way to level up Warframes right now. All you need to do is feed Gauss into the Helminth and subsume Thermal Sunder into your favorite Warframe. Next, mod for high range and efficiency, and if you have Archon Vitality, then the better for damage. The Archon mod really pairs well with Heat Thermal Sunder as it doubles the heat proc, allowing you to DPS enemies faster in the Sanctuary Onslaught. Because of this, many would say that Thermal Sunder is just for leveling purposes using the heat version, but this is where they are wrong. Remember what I have said before regarding the ability at max redline? If it's not clear, then let me rephrase it for you guys. At 100% battery, blast procs from Thermal Sunder will strip enemy armor, and this scales with power strength. In addition, at 100% battery, any heat procs from Thermal Sunder that are converted into blast procs by the cold version are immediately popped as if you are using the Expedite Suffering ability from the Helminth system. This results in Thermal Sunder acting exactly like a larger version of the Glaive Prime's Throne Explosion / procs in an even larger area, coupled with the fact that the enemy's armor is stripped, which causes it to do millions of non-crit damage, does allow you to nuke a room easily in any hard mode survival type runs. You might get surprised by how much the damage of Thermal Sunder will do once your battery is at 100%, and you are blasting away enemies with the cold, blast, and heat of Thermal Sunder. But here's the problem though, you should know that each ability of Gauss has a corresponding benefit and penalty to how much battery charge you can gain. The requirement is, you need to cast his redline, Gauss Ultimate, to increase the battery charge. Gauss has access to 80% of the battery in his default state. Activating redline grants access to 100% of the battery. The battery, displayed as a gauge meter above his ability icons, acts as a secondary resource that charges or drains depending on the ability he uses. So here are the things you should know. Most of the time, just by simply moving around will help you gain battery charges, but be careful as falling from out of the map would decrease the battery level. The same goes for casting specific abilities, like, if your battery isn't at max charge, you may want to avoid casting the heat version of Thermal Sunder, as it will decrease your battery level by 10% per cast. Also, after casting Redline, you must see to it that you will move around, use Mach Rush and hit enemies, cast the cold version of Thermal Sunder, and other things that you see on the screen so your Redline level would not decrease. One thing that is very problematic with this is sometimes you will only have a short duration to take full advantage of the Thermal Sunder at max battery, and instead of enjoying the insane nuke, you will get irritated in doing the same process of increasing the battery level to 100% over and over again. Well, that will be no problem if you have the right build. For this insane nuking Gauss build, you should consider adding max range if possible, then some efficiency and arch vitality for more DPS for the heat procs of Thermal Sunder. The most important of all though is the sprint mods that give you more speed that translates to better stacking of battery level, and of course, duration mods for Redline. If you have Argent shards, preferably the Tau forged version of the red ones, then go slap a couple of duration in Gauss so you will have more duration for the Redline ability. One last tip before you go try this out. This build is insane in taking out mobs in the game, and as I have said, you will enjoy this in long endurance runs type of mission, but don't expect it to be a great boss killing setup, or even a setup that can kill special units like Demolished fast. You can strip their armor, and take advantage of the cold procs to slow them down, but, in terms of time to kill, then you are better off using a weapon than just clapping them with Thermal Sunder. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future.